Good afternoon, dear students. Today is 28th October 2020, and as per our syllabus, which is framed for MA Economics Population Studies students, today I will deal with another theory of population, and that theory is a Liebenstien theory of population growth, which, dear students, we may call as critical minimum effort thesis. And if you will recall, you might heard or you might learn or you might studied this theory in development paper also. So this is a very important theory of population which linked with the economic growth and per capita income. So let's start the theory. So dear students, the critical minimum effort theory has been given by Harvey Liebenstien in his book Economic Backwardness and Economic Growth. This theory relates to overpopulated and underdeveloped or developing nations such as India and Indonesia. And the theory is based on Malthusian theory of population. Again, I am repeating. Many theories still justify backgrounded with Malthusian theory. Even Liebenstien also recognized the Malthusian theory of population. And this theory is one of the balanced growth theories, which we used to say. And in this theory, Liebenstien essentially talks about how large doses of investment in an economy can help the economy in development. So dear student, this is the theory linked with development. And there are many assumptions, but mainly two assumptions works in this theory. First, the output is subject to diminishing returns with respect to population growth. And second, population growth is a function of per capita income, and rate of investment is a function of per capita income. So both assumption shows that Liebenstien tries to focus on economic development or to raise concern to raise about the per capita income. So there are many points to be discussed. Liebenstien says that for every disturbance, no matter how large it is, the long run population growth effects will be more significant than the effects of induced investment. अब ध्यान दीजिए, आज कोविड के दौर में ये डिस्टर्बेंस का दौर है, ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक डिस्टर्बेंस का दौर है. भारत में भी आज सीतारमन हमारे वित्त मंत्री ने कहा कि हम जीरो ग्रोथ रेट हो सकते हैं, माइनस ग्रोथ रेट हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि कोविड की वजह से इकोनॉमी डिप्रेस्ड हो गई है. लेकिन अल्टीमेटली केवल इन्वेस्टमेंट से नहीं इसकी भरपाई होगी, बल्कि पॉपुलेशन ही इसका इलाज होगा. स्किल्ड लेबर ही इसकी इलाज होंगे, ह्यूमन कैपिटल ही इसकी इलाज होंगे. देखिए, माइग्रेशन हुआ शहरों से, रिवर्स माइग्रेशन गांव में, फिर उनकी डिमांड शहरों में हो रही है, तभी प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस शुरू होगा, और इसलिए वापस वही पॉपुलेशन का हिस्सा जाएगा तो प्रोडक्शन शुरू होगा. और दैट्स हाउ investment begins. So dear students, the system is quasi stable for small displacement but not large ones, and we can say that equilibrium is unstable to begin with. Every time viewing the disturbance, we say that equilibrium is unstable to begin with. Always we have to begin with unstable equilibrium. Just like in the COVID era, today our equilibrium is unstable. We are moving to zero economic growth, and we have to move from that unstable growth to the stable economic growth again. Okay, so there are many prepositions, but lastly I can say that all this is because at high income levels people want to keep their family size small so that they can maintain high standard of living. So this is a very important part of Liebenstien, because both the Nelson in 1956 and Liebenstien in 1956 proposed that when population will increase, per capita income will also increase along with it. and thus the per capita income of the economy rises above the minimum subsistence level. Both said this, and thus this theory stressed on the importance of social structure, human capital, and entrepreneurship. This trio contents is very important in today's Indian economy also. We have to give importance to social structure, human capital, and entrepreneurship. But they say that the development of these and investment in these sectors alone cannot attain critical minimum effort. But besides, Liebenstien also said only investment on these sectors is not sufficient. But we have to invest critically in almost every given sectors in the economy, so that economy should back to the momentum. So this is one figure which Liebenstien used to say primarily, that y-axis is a per capita income, x-axis is a population growth. You can see as population growth is growing, per capita income is decreasing. You can see the blue line from highest to lower point. There is a one point where per capita income's line is cutting the population growth, and above there is a zero investment, and below there is a zero population. So this shows that in this graph that it can be seen that with rise in population, the per capita income decreases as per this graph. So as there is a population growth, the per capita income of the economy will decrease. So this graph shows this. But this is not important. This shows that the increased per capita income leads to an increase in the population growth rate. And eventually, the economy is brought back to the old level of low levels. So this is the gist of the theory. But important is this graph, dear students. You can see in this graph, y-axis is denoting income per capita. X-axis is denoting population growth or national income growth, what we are talking about. You can see the income level can start from zero diagonally. You can see this is a N line from zero diagonally to moving to N line, and there's maybe not zero population, so the population line starts from upper point of the income level. So you can see this graph is denoted as a P graph. So P is a population graph, N is a national income or per capita income graph, and below A point is that there is a no growth, because income and population is as a simplest point. And again we can say that as per population growth to the 1%, YB is a income level, and again population growth to 2%, then again YC is a growing income, and again then 3% population growth, the highest point of the per capita income is Y. So up to this point, YE is the highest per capita income, population may grow from A, B, G to E point. And after that, what Liebenstien said, that when people realize that their per capita income is high, they have a dignified life, then from this point, the reflection point of population begins. And from this point, population begins to decline. So this is the theory of Liebenstien, which you have to denote from this theory. And when we explain this theory, we can say that N represents the increase in per capita income, which equalizes the increase in population to increase in the national income. And P shows the growth rate of population at different levels of per capita. So we can say that according to Liebenstien, that Y is what earlier I showed you, that minimum critical level of per capita income which is necessary for economic growth is essential. And critical minimum effort theory is one of the balanced growth theories. It talks about how a minimum amount of push is required by an economy for it to be set to the path of development. So this push can be in the form of investments. So dear students, the minimum amount of effort that is required is a critical for the economy to move towards development. Hence this theory is called as critical minimum effort. इसलिए आज भारत में हर क्षेत्र में कुछ न कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट नीड ऑफ द आवर है. अगर आपको इकोनॉमी रिवाइव करना है, 21 लाख करोड़ का जो आत्मनिर्भर पैकेज कोविड काल में दिया गया है, उसमें देखिए प्रायोरिटी तो गरीबों को दिया गया है, लेकिन सुविधाएं एमएसएमई से लेके टॉप इंडस्ट्रीज को दिया गया, सो दैट सभी सेक्टर धीरे धीरे ही सही, लेकिन अनलॉकडाउन फेज में देखिए अब धीरे धीरे सुधरने लगे। तो क्रिटिकल मिनिमम एफर्ट जो है पॉपुलेशन को भी कंट्रोल करता है, इकोनॉमी को भी बूस्ट करता है। सो बिकॉज ऑफ द हाई पॉपुलेशन इन अंडर डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज, द कैपिटल एक्यूमुलेशन एंड लेबर सप्लाई आर नॉट सफिशिएंट टू इंक्रीज इन द पर कैपिटा इनकम। इसलिए भारत जैसे देशों में सिर्फ कैपिटल एक्यूमुलेशन और लेबर सप्लाई ही पर कैपिटा इनकम को नहीं बढ़ाता है, बल्कि तमाम फैक्टर्स और हैं जिसके वजह से हम ये ग्रोथ की बात करते हैं। सो it is necessary that the initial investment levels are sufficiently above a minimum magnitude. This is very important, that there should be initial investment levels and sufficiently above a minimum magnitude. Okay, so it is not necessary that all efforts to raise the per capita income are successful. Some are just too small or below the minimum required level. As I told you in the online class, I've explained you, dear students, all of these points. So now, since this type of investment sometimes becomes difficult for underdeveloped nations, Liebenstien stressed on the fact that the investment can be spread over a period of time and does not necessarily have to be made instantaneously. As there was taken steps in second 5-year plan when there was a big push theory, that was instantaneously and given period over time. So this Liebenstien theory is better than that big push theory. So the main idea of the Liebenstien theory is that the vicious circle needs to be broken, and this is very important as per we are talking about Indian economy also, that the vicious circle needs to be broken and the per capita income should increase at any cost. Then only we can control our population positively. As dear students, you all discussed with me in the online class. So when we critically evaluate the theory, we can say that the theory critical minimum effort is better than big push theory, in the sense that it is more practical than the latter, as critical minimum effort theory can be better timed and can be broken up into series of smaller efforts. And secondly, critical minimum efforts theory, as opposed to be big push theory, does not stress on the fact that a lump sum amount of investment has to be made instantaneously. So it is more relevant for underdeveloped nations like India. And the theory is also consistent with the concept of decentralized democratic planning as practiced in India. This is very much important. The country like India, which is practicing the decentralized economy, because we have a 3-layer of democratic system, this theory is very important. And when we criticize about the theory, we can say that it is wrongly said in the theory that increase in per capita income would lead to decrease in population size due to a low birth rate. So this is criticism. And also, instead, population depends upon a number of economic and non-economic factors which Liebenstien ignores. And lastly but not least, the critical minimum efforts theory completely ignores the monetary and physical policies, which are very much important factors in the deciding the investment and income levels of economy. So dear students, this is how you have to read the Liebenstien critical minimum theory. And there is also another theory which you have to read, and that theory is called as Liebenstien's motivational theory, in which Liebenstien used to say that there should be motivational factors for the decreasing of the population, and that Liebenstien say as a consumption utility, as a production utility, and as a security utility. All this I have already explained in the online class. So you both theory you have to compile as one and attempt in your examination. Thank you and take care.